We got a front runner.
Hello, Adam Ryan Donato.
Hello. Welcome to another Hard Review. I am here, of course, to talk about The Smashing Machine. This is Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's push to be a real actor, man. He's going to be in a real movie, a real drama, really flex those dramatic muscles that he has. Obviously, The Rock started out as like a wrestler and then turned into like this kind of action star slash like family movie star. Like, you know, he was in stuff like The Game Plan, Journey 2, or Escape to Witch Mountain. And then there's other action-y type stuff like The Rundown. Then he transitioned into more of his movie star phase where he was the resurrector of certain things. So for example, Fast 5 is the movie that really reinvigorated the Fast and Furious franchise, in large part because of Hobbs' character, the presence that The Rock brought to the table. I mean, G.I. Joe Retaliation is better than the first G.I. Joe, but you know what I mean? The Jumanji movies were a big success. He paired up with Kevin Hart a lot during this era, and now he is selling movies on his name. He is an operation all unto himself. He's one of the biggest movie stars on the planet. Moana does really well. This is a huge feather in his cap, especially since he got to sing a song there, and he's not a singer, obviously, but that's a very popular song now. I feel like we started to see the beginning of the end here in the 2020s. I mean, I feel like he got too big for his own britches. Black Adam was a failure. Red One's a failure. Red Notice doesn't even really exist, really. And now he wants to do The Smashing Machine with Benny Safdie, which I'm happy that he's trying to act in a real movie and do like a good job. But there is an element of like, you're just playing a wrestler. Like, we know you can do that. You know what I mean? We were caked up with all this makeup and you're in very familiar territory for yourself. And I see clearly through what you're trying to do here. You got Benny Safdie because you were like, well, I see what the Safdie brothers did for Adam Sandler, really reinvigorated his image. He's in these shitty Happy Madison comedies nonstop, all this bullshit Netflix stuff. And then he goes and does Uncut Gems, and it's like, whoa, Oscar frontrunner here. I know he didn't win. I don't even think he was nominated in 2019, but still, that was like one of the defining performances of that decade right there. And then to a lesser extent, like Robert Pattinson, this is the Twilight guy who they were like, okay, we're going to put you in a very different type of context, a very different type of role, and that's where I feel like people started to garner a greater respect for him as like an actual actor. And then you see all the interviews of The Rock being like, everyone wanted to put me into a box, and this is me going out and doing what I think I can do, and I'm going to do a great job. And just to address that, I think he does a good job. Like, I joked in the beginning about how he's a frontrunner, but no, he's really not. I think that he's not even the best acting performance of the month so far. I would take Leo in One Battle After Another over him. I'd take Joaquin Phoenix in Eddington over him. One of my favorite things about his character is how soft and polite he is. He's very cute. He's a very adorable man. Now, don't get me wrong, he's not without his flaws. He's very violent, obviously, in certain times, and he has problem with drugs, and he lets his anger get the best of him at times, and his pride get the best of him at times. That's really like the crux of this movie. You know, he never loses, and one time he loses because the guy cheats, kind of, but like still, you see how much this eats away at him. And I thought we were going to run with this a lot more. That kind of devolves into the excessive drug use, the relationship problems with his wife, Emily Blunt, which she does a really good job here, but their relationship, it's kind of all over the place. Like, it reaches incredibly ridiculous, intense moments, but it's also like very funny at times in a way that like feels like deliberate though. Like, so I don't know if I'm supposed to view this relationship positively or negatively. I guess that's the thing I like about it, is that it's kind of getting me in this like gray area between like, I could see that there's actual love there, but also it's very clear that these two people shouldn't be together and they've got their own different types of problems and they're not communicating correctly and they do not operate well together. But I like both their performances very much so. It's funny because Benny Safdie, I feel like, kind of gets swept under the rug with all this conversation about the movie. I mean, I'm just now really bringing up his role in this. I mean, he hasn't directed a movie since Uncut Gems, and this is the first time he's directing a movie without Josh Safdie. Maybe not first time, but they're splitting up. Josh Safdie is doing Marty Supreme later on this year, and Benny Safdie did this. But Benny Safdie also does a bunch of acting stuff. He's in Oppenheimer and whatnot. This does lead me to believe that Josh is the better of the two, because I do think The Smashing Machine is significantly less good than Good Time or Uncut Gems. That being said, I think that one of my favorite things about this movie is how it really ingratiates ourselves in the time frame here. I believe it's like 1997 to like 2000. The soundtrack is really perfect for the time, and it's really awesome soundtrack just in general. The way the movie looks, the way it's shot, the set design of everything, like everything looks very of that time period, and it was executed very well. I think this movie might get a makeup nomination. You know, I think there was many times where I'm like staring at his face kind of wondering what they did with it to make it look the way that it did at different points in the movie. I think this is a very good movie. I'm gonna go with a 4, leaning closer to a 3 than to a 5. I think think that this will get some kind of chatter around award season, and it might get a few nominations here and there, but like I really don't think that this is going to be the slam dunk hit that The Rock wants it to be. And again, it shouldn't be. You shouldn't be able to get an Oscar your first time actually trying and giving a damn. But hey, good. Thank you for trying. Now keep going. Now do something a little bit more adventurous. Maybe play something that's not a wrestler. I mean, I get it. Like with that build, you kind of are like limited in the stuff that you could do. But good first step. Also, the box office isn't going to be what he wants it to be because it opens the same weekend as the Taylor Swift concert movie, like music video type thing. So he's not going to get the awards recognition he wants, and he's also not going to get the box office that he wants. So oof, this guy's pride. Yeah, it's kind of an autobiographical thing because yes, it's about this guy, Mark Kerr, but Mark Kerr seems to have a lot of personality attributes that I would also assign to The Rock. So I just think that that's kind of a funny thing. 4 out of 5. Thank you guys so much. Like, comment, subscribe. Why don't you guys tell me what your favorite Dwayne The Rock Johnson performance is? Mine, probably, I don't know, one of the first ones that comes to my mind is the Jumanji movies. Like, I really enjoy the body switching. That's very fun. It allows him to play a different type of character and allows him to bounce off of other type of characters that he normally, like The Rock, playing The Rock, wouldn't normally get to bounce off of. I also really like Central Intelligence. I think I need to rewatch that movie. I remember really enjoying it, but I don't remember ever revisiting it. And he plays like kind of this like, shy guy, nice guy kind of thing.